What's up, Wrestle Scope family? Before we dive into the biggest wrestling bombshell of the decade, let me ask you something. When was the last time WWE actually delivered on what the fans desperately wanted? I'll wait, because what just went down has the entire wrestling world in absolute chaos. Here's what nobody is talking about, and it's going to make you furious. WWE just pulled off the most controversial return in modern wrestling history, and the way they did it, it's a slap in the face to everyone who's been loyal to this business. Jon Moxley, yes, the man who buried WWE on his way out, who called Triple H's creative so crushing, who said he'd rather retire than go back, just showed up as the mystery partner for Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. But here's the part that's got me heated. This isn't about brotherhood. This isn't about honor. This is about WWE rewriting history and hoping you forget what Moxley really said about them. They're banking on your nostalgia to overshadow the truth. And don't even get me started on Drew McIntyre joining the Vision. Roman's reaction? Let's just say the tribal chief might have finally met his match in the mind games department. Drop a comment right now. Are you excited or do you feel manipulated? Because what I'm about to reveal is going to change everything you think you know about this reunion. Alright, let's break down exactly what happened because the details matter here. SmackDown opened with Seth Rollins in the ring, and you could see it in his eyes. The man was desperate. He's been begging for backup against the Judgment Day's new alliance with the Vision, and after weeks of getting demolished, he issued an open challenge for a mystery partner. The crowd was chanting names, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, even CM Punk. But then, the lights went out, and when they came back on, there he was. Not in AEW, not in New Japan, in a WWE ring. Jon frickin' Moxley. The pop was nuclear. But here's where it gets interesting. Moxley didn't grab a mic and cut a feel-good promo about coming home. No, he stood there with this look. You know the one? That same unhinged, I'll burn this place down look that made him a legend in the first place. He walked straight to Seth, they locked eyes for what felt like an eternity, and then the fist bump. The Shield fist bump. The arena exploded. But wait, it gets better. Roman's music hit, the tribal chief walked out, and the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Remember, these three haven't been in the same ring since 2019. Roman looked at Moxley, Moxley looked at Roman, and Seth was standing there like he was about to witness either the greatest reunion or the most brutal beatdown in WWE history. And then, they did it. The three-man fist bump, the Shield salute. And I'm not going to lie, Wrestle Scope family, even I got chills. But here's what the marks aren't seeing. This reunion, it's built on quicksand. Now, before you crucify me in the comments, hear me out. Jon Moxley spent years telling anyone with a microphone that WWE was a prison for his creativity. He talked about how he was miserable, how the scripts were garbage, how he felt like a puppet. He went to AEW and became their world champion. He became the face of their company. So explain to me how we're supposed to believe he's suddenly cool with coming back to the same system he escaped from. Unless, and this is the theory that's got the internet divided, this whole thing is a work. A massive, elaborate work that involves AEW, WWE, and a forbidden door situation that nobody saw coming. Think about it. Tony Khan has been suspiciously quiet, Triple H has that smirk on his face like he knows something we don't, and Moxley? He looked too comfortable out there for someone who supposedly hated everything about WWE. Here's my hot take, and you can roast me for it. This is either the most brilliant long-term storyline in wrestling history, or it's WWE desperately trying to pop a rein in by sacrificing everything Moxley stood for. And the fans, we're the ones caught in the middle. Some of you are celebrating, the Shield's back, baby, best stable ever. Others are feeling betrayed. Moxley sold out. He's a hypocrite. Drop a comment and let me know where you stand because this community is split down the middle right now. But yo, we cannot ignore the other massive bombshell from SmackDown. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior, the man who's been on a redemption arc for 2 years, joined the Vision. And Roman's reaction? Let's just say the tribal chief might have finally met his match in the mind games department. Let me set the scene for you. After the Shield reunion, the Vision came out. Bobby Lashley, MVP, and now Drew McIntyre. They stood on the ramp and Bobby grabbed the mic and said something that sent shockwaves through the UWE universe. Roman, you can have your little boy band back, but the Vision, we're the future. And Drew McIntyre just made the smartest decision of his career. Roman's face went from tribal chief to I'm about to commit murder in 0.5 seconds. He grabbed the mic and fired back. Drew, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. You think joining these clowns is going to save you from me? I'm the head of the table, and at Survivor Series, the Shield is going to remind everyone why we run this business. The stare down was intense. You had the Shield on one side, Roman, Seth, and Moxley, and the Vision on the other, Bobby, MVP, and Drew. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." And honestly, they weren't wrong. But here's the storyline genius that WWE is cooking up. Drew McIntyre has been feuding with Roman on and off for years. He's the one guy who's never truly bent the knee to the tribal chief. And now, he's got the backing of the Vision, a group that's been systematically taking out Roman's allies for months. This isn't just about a rivalry. This is about legacy. Drew wants to prove he's the alpha of WWE. And Roman can't let anyone challenge his throne. And with Moxley back in the mix, the tribal chief finally has the reinforcements he needs to go to war. Let's talk about the bigger picture here, because this isn't just about one show or one match. WWE is building to what could be the most stacked Survivor Series in history. You've got the Shield, arguably the greatest faction of the 2010s, going up against the Vision, which is positioned as the new dominant force in WWE. But here's where it gets spicy. What happens to the Bloodline? Roman has been running with Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Paul Heyman. But now that the Shield's back, does the Bloodline take a back seat? Does Solo feel disrespected? Could we see internal conflict within Roman's ranks? And what about Seth Rollins? The man literally destroyed the Shield back in 2014. Is that just water under the bridge now? Or is there a betrayal coming that nobody sees? And plus, Moxley's AEW contract situation is murky at best. Is this a short-term deal, a one-off appearance, or is he actually back full-time? WWE hasn't said a word, and that silence is deafening. Plus, the Vision just got a massive upgrade with Drew McIntyre. Bobby Lashley is a former WWE champion, MVP is one of the best talkers in the business, and Drew is a legitimate main eventer. This group isn't just a mid-card stable, they're a threat. The wrestling community is in meltdown mode right now. Twitter is exploding with takes ranging from "this is the greatest night of SmackDown history" to "WWE just ruined Moxley's legacy." Reddit is debating whether this is a work shoot or a shoot work. And YouTube, don't even get me started. Everyone's got a theory. Here's my prediction, Wrestle Scope family. I think this reunion is temporary. I think Moxley is here for one mega angle. They're going to have an insane match at Survivor Series, and then he's gone. WWE gets their nostalgia pop, AEW doesn't lose their top star permanently, and Moxley gets to remind everyone why he's one of the most dangerous men in wrestling. As for Drew McIntyre and the Vision, I think they're winning at Survivor Series. Controversial, I know, but think about it. Roman has been on top for 3 years. It's time to shake things up. Drew getting that win over Roman would elevate him back to the main event scene, and the Vision would become the hottest act in WWE. But here's the twist. I think Moxley is going to be the one who costs the Shield the match. Not because he's turning heel, but because he's chaos personified. He doesn't follow orders, he doesn't play politics, and he definitely doesn't care about Roman's tribal chief nonsense. So there you have it, WrestleScope family. Jon Moxley is back, the Shield has reunited, Drew McIntyre has joined the Vision, and Roman Reigns is caught in the biggest war WWE has seen in years. This is the kind of wrestling that gets people talking. This is the kind of storytelling that makes you feel something. Whether you love it or hate it, you can't look away. Now here's what I need from you. Smash that like button if you're hyped for this Shield reunion. Drop a comment telling me, are you Team Shield or Team Vision? And if you're not already subscribed to WrestleScope, what are you waiting for? We're bringing you the realest wrestling content on YouTube, breaking down every twist, every turn, and every controversy. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video, because trust me, this story is just getting